We don't do anything without an idea. So they're beautiful gifts. And I always say you desiring an idea is like a bait on a hook.
Yeah.
It can pull them in.
The indie world was really starting to take off. You know, every year there was a handful of really wonderful indie films. So that just gives you encouragement. You know, they're not necessarily the films that want to make you make films. They're not, but they're the films that make you think you can make films, which is as important as anything.
Figure out how to do something responsibly, you know, because it's, you know, if your budget doesn't have to be huge, just go make it.
Maybe that's the right attitude.
You have to do anything. You have to do anything. You have to steal a camera. You have to steal film. You have to steal money. And I mean, you know, either you go to university. In my case, I had to go to university to be able to be allowed to use equipment. Right, Brian? I'm NYU. I had to.
And one last thing, I want to thank the Academy for recognizing a truly independent film.
Blair Witch Project. Good Will Hunting.
It's not your fault. Don't fuck with me, all right?
Pulp Fiction. These are all films that seemingly have nothing in common other than the fact that they're famous and popular movies. Though, despite their well-done executions, another aspect that they all share is that they're all independent films. But what is an independent film? According to Yannis Tzioumakis in his textbook American Independent Cinema is defined as films that are typically created on a low budget and made by budding filmmakers. They often reflect a strong personal vision away from the influence and pressures of the few major conglomerates that tightly control the American film industry. Independent films, or indie films for short, usually don't have the financial backing to make it into worldwide theatrical releases, but they're often the birthplace of innovation, risk-taking, and deeply personal storytelling. To really understand the concept of indie films as well as their significance, let's talk numbers. The average Hollywood blockbuster costs about $150 million to produce. A lot of zeros. For context, Avengers Endgame, the highest budgeted film to date, cost a staggering $400 million to produce. Now compare that to recent indie Oscar winner movie Anora, directed by Sean Baker, which had a budget of just $6 million. Or even go back a few decades to Swingers, a quotable 1996 cult classic directed by Doug Liman, which was made for only $200,000. Talk about a price jump. But wait, yeah, they cost less, but who cares? Currently, the biggest film companies in America are Paramount Pictures, 20th Century Fox, Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, or MGM, Warner Brothers, and Radio Keith Orverium, or RKO Pictures, commonly referred to as the Big Five, since they're the 5 big studios that commonly distribute films. If we let independent film die completely, these Big 5 studios turn into an oligopoly, which is defined to be where a small group of companies control an industry, making it difficult for other companies to join that said industry. According to research done in 2012, about 15% of all cinemas were in their possession, but they threw from 70% of total revenue at the box office of the United States. Big distributors typically squander a lot of the director's creative freedoms to make the films that they invest in more marketable. Without these creative freedoms, we get unrepresented releases and no incentive to innovate or experiment. Independent films are known for their unique perspectives, ranging from jazz drummers succumbing to their obsessions to what poverty looks like in the eyes of a 6-year-old, and they showcase complex themes that Inside Out 2 just cannot touch on. No hate to Inside Out 2. It's not me who just felt this way. I was able to interview 2 people who have experience in film production and have starred in independent films themselves as well.
My name is Sophia Skidlarczyk. I'm a musical theater major, and I have worked with Sophie Hatton in past short films and projects.
My name is Titan Henderson. I'm currently on Cited, and I have worked on high school promotion videos as well as commercial previews in high school.
Cool. What is independent film, to you personally? How do you feel about it? How would you define it? What are your thoughts? What are your initial thoughts?
I just like that it allows people to be creative and really express their ideas with as little as they have. Without as much funding, you really have to get creative with what you do. So I think just seeing how different people can be creative with what they have.
I like how they have to put in a lot more effort in the fake acting shit.
I agree. Cool. What is the first independent film that you've ever watched?
I think Napoleon Dynamite was
Me
the
as
first
well,
one.
me as well.
Any thoughts on Napoleon Dynamite?
Fire.
Vote for Pedro.
Vote for Pedro.
Fire. It's so funny. It's just like one of the most like iconic ones.
Tina, eat your dinner.
Thoughts on major distributors, so like Warner Brothers, Disney, things like that.
I wish that Disney still cared about like their stuff, because I don't know what the shift was, but now I feel like they're much more focused on just like getting stuff out rather than like the quality of the stuff that they're putting out. So indie films really do a good job of keeping the creativity, but without the funding. But Disney has the funding, but not the creativity.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, and Warner Brothers, they're just kind of running out of ideas. And Disney. Oh, Disney's running out of ideas. With all the live action movies instead of animation, it's like the same plot.
Yeah, the sequels or the remakes and stuff.
Yeah. Running out of ideas.
What's your favorite indie film?
I really like The Last Black Man in San Francisco. Just because, I think the visuals are very nice, the shots are very clever, and I feel like it's just, it's a very, just, kind of real, situation that happens. So.
Do you think that if there was a major distributor, if Disney picked it up or, MGM, do you think that film would have, turned out differently in its theatrical release?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think people would have been happy to see something original from Disney, but also I feel like if it was released in modern day or peak Disney,
it would be different.
No, I'm asking which
era?
Does it matter?
Not really. It's just if it was made, or if it was bought out by a major distributor, how would that change post-production?
Yeah.
Things like that. Would it change the message? Do you think they would have taken crucial parts out to make it more marketable? Things like that.
Hold on. Let me refresh myself because I haven't watched it. But the whole point is this guy's homeless and he's squatting in houses, and people at Disney would be against that, I feel or obviously not against it, but I don't think they would promote something like that, and especially since Disney is a quote-unquote kids industry, it's yeah. But I think it would be very different because maybe they wouldn't have had to I don't know, you see the classic film kids on roller skates with their camera on a string following people around. They wouldn't have that creativity or the fun, and you can really see the life that's put into the movie, and with a big production company buying it, I feel it kind of sucks the life out of it.
100%. And what's your favorite indie film?
Either Nightcrawler or Donnie Darko. I like Donnie Darko a little bit more, honestly, because it kind of. Can I say?
Sure, I'll bleep it out.
It kind of screws with your mind a little bit, and it's got a lot of interesting aspects. I did watch it really young, so at first it kind of freaked me out, but now that I grew older, I watched it 2 months ago, and I'm starting to appreciate it in a different way, making me ponder.
Yeah, and same question applies if this was picked up by, MGM or anything like that. If it wasn't produced independently in the beginning, how would it? Do you think it would have changed this outcome? Would they cut certain aspects out or completely change the film to make it more marketable to larger audiences?
I think they would demonetize it a little bit more if it was launched by a larger company.
Demonetize it
There's a lot of gruesome scenes in Donnie Darko with the eye and just a bunch of.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
But I feel a lot of those scenes wouldn't just be there because it's a little gruesome.
Yeah, 100%. And it's
They're
worth
all about the money.
Yeah, and it's worth mentioning Donnie Darko is very open-ended and
Yes.
confuses a lot of people. So
It's like a whole.
yeah, so I think a lot of major distributors do like plots so people can have a more concise and easier to understand, thought on it, so they can get a better review.
I like the open endings.
I agree. Me too. All right. I mean, thank you so much. Any last words?
Watch Barbie and a Mermaid Tale.
Perfect. Awesome. Okay. Now that I know what an indie film is, and I do really want to watch one, where do I go? Lucky for you, we actually have 3 independent cinemas right here in Milwaukee. One theater that you should definitely pay a visit to is the Oriental Theater, located on 2230 North Farwell Avenue. It was originally opened on July 2nd, 1927, built by Gustave Dick and Alex Barr. It closed down on June 21st in 2018, but it actually reopened later that August as it was taken over by the MKEFilm organization. It's an architectural gem. Their main theater, titled the Able Cinema, is lined with intricate columns and wall designs and a beautiful ceiling artwork. There are other venues as well, the Lou Barton Hersfield theaters, and they aren't anything to be scoffed at. With beautiful carpeting and spherical ceiling design that almost looks like a sky when the lights are dimmed down low. MKEFilm curates what new releases they choose to play, as well as a blend of indie films, foreign releases, and classics that everybody will enjoy. The Oriental also has a monthly tradition to show the Rocky Horror Picture Show every second Saturday of the month. It currently holds the most number of showings in a single theater in the world. The festival is special due to the fact that it has people coming in from all over the world, with not only films that are independently made, but are also from different areas of the world. No matter the language or the cultural barrier, people gather on Farwell Avenue with one common love and passion. MKEFilm also runs another theater not too far from the Oriental as well, called the Downer Theater. The theater was built in 1915, making it the oldest theater in Milwaukee. It was opened before the sound and cinema was implemented, and according to Cynthia Sommer from her article on the Downer Theater, moviegoers way back when watched their films with a Weichardt pipe organ, a summer piano, or even an in-house orchestra. In 1937, it went under some renovations and was taken under Fox, Wisconsin, showcasing foreign comedies, dramas, musicals, and romances. It solidified its standing as a vital aspect of Milwaukee's cinema scene that would struggle throughout the mid-1900s. It was finally taken over by Landmark Theaters in the 90s, undergoing some heavy renovations. They utilized a dual split of the theater, giving it more showtimes and a variety of films that can be shown. It closed down in 2023, but thankfully reopened in April of 2024 and has been a unit of the MKEFilm since. Today, Downer Theater runs films new and old, sifting through indie films and wide releases to give you the best viewing experience. But the cinema that prioritizes showcasing independent films all year round is the Union Cinema. Owned by the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, the Union Cinema is located on the second floor of the Union. They have showings every day and different kinds of festivals all year round, and it's also worth noting that every showing is also free, so it's completely open to the public. They showcase films from different parts of the world. One that I was actually able to attend is the French Film Festival back in February of this year, in which I was able to see L'Inhumaine, a Parisian silent film with a live piano accompaniment. The Union Cinema also has a weekly series titled Experimental Tuesdays, in which they showcase avant-garde and art house films, opening audiences up to an abstract form of film. And the Oriental isn't the only place with the film festival. The Milwaukee Underground Film Festival is one that is student-run and started almost 2 decades ago, back in 2002. It has passed down every year to many new faces in the Peck School of Arts, the UWM School, and it runs every April. But independent cinema isn't just restricted to movie theaters. You can sit down on your couch and turn it right on your TV, computer, or even stream it from your phone. The Criterion Collection is a film distributor company that picks up new independent films as well as re-releases them, offering bonus or deleted scenes, directed cuts, interviews, and commentary tracks. The Criterion Collection isn't just reserved for independent releases though. Their goal is to showcase exemplary films, whether it's a small abstract art house film or something that was released widespread. Their goal is to showcase exemplary films, whether it's a film that was almost a home film or something that was so widespread but just in a foreign country. They started out in 1984 releasing films on DVD, then they took on Blu-ray in the early 2000s and now streaming via the Criterion channel. The Criterion Collection is widely loved by cinephiles, as anything released by the company is seen as very prestigious. So, if you find yourself reaching for a DVD and you pull out a box with that little C in the corner, just know that you're in for an experience, whether it's a pleasure or not. To conclude, independent cinema may not have the best CGI or star-studded cast, but what it lacks in size and grandiosity, it makes up for in beautiful storytelling, complex plots and themes, and innovative technique. They're born from passion, and everybody involved in shooting and producing this project put their all into it, and they're able to challenge audiences and mainstream media. And in the wise words of Sean Baker,
Long live independent film. Yeah, okay, thanks.